Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into the world of Power Apps, Microsoft's powerful tool for building custom apps. So we're just going to go through what is Power Apps and what we can do with it in our workplace, whether it's a big company, small company, and we're also going to be building our first app. So let's get started. So what is Power Apps? Power Apps actually is a tool from Microsoft for building custom business applications without writing any code. That is how it's been advertised as without writing any code, although Power Apps actually can go much further than that. But whether actually you're just a beginner or a seasoned developer, Power Apps can makes it easy to create apps. So I opened the Microsoft documentation about Power Apps. It's a good document, so I would suggest you go through it and read it if you'd like. So Power Apps is a suite of apps, services, and connectors, and a data platform that provides a rapid application development environment to build custom apps for your business needs. So basically, everything is out there. So you don't have to get servers for data. Everything is in the cloud. So you got your data, whether you're using Dataverse, SharePoint, or if you're using your SQL Server. Power Apps, again, makes it easier. So it's a low-code application. If you don't have any experience with app development, I'll show you how to build your first app in a few minutes. That can save your workplace and automate a lot of processes. Whatever was manual can be now within Power Apps. Build your access levels, make only the users that's supposed to use it. I'll also be including a link to create your own dev environment for developers. So it's a free environment. So click on the link and start for free. You create your own environment if you don't want to share or build application into the main environment in your place. So that's a good option. I've been using it. It's very nice. I'll add the link in the description. So let's get started building our first Power Apps. So I'm going to go to make.powerapps.com and you'll get to this screen and click on create and you got these options. So there is built from like a blank app, and you can build on top of data that you have, Dataverse or SharePoint, Excel even, or SQL Server. You can have your app on a piece of paper and uh, have it built on by this example. I haven't tried this, but it looks like it's promising. I don't know how far it's gonna go. I'm not sure. So today we're gonna be building a blank app. So I'll click on here and I will create a blank canvas app. And so this is my first app. I'll choose a tablet and create. All right. So you need some place where you store your data. In today's video, I'll be using SharePoint. So SharePoint comes within the standard license, so you don't have to pay any premium licensing for it. Same as Power Apps. So Power Apps license also comes within your standard license. So I'll be using SharePoint as a data source. And if you don't know what's SharePoint, and so to get to it, go to your office.com and click on this waffle menu and explore all your apps, and this is what's gonna come. So you can select Power Apps from here, or you can select SharePoint also. If you look for it, it's right here. So once you get there, and if you don't have a list, click on New and List. And a list is basically like a place where you store your data. It's like a table. So do a list from blank, and you can give it a title, test. And you can choose show it in the site navigation or not. I don't. So create. Once you create a list, you will have the title column as the first column, but you can add more. So I'm gonna jump into its settings. So click on that gear and list settings, and you can create a column. So if you click on this, create a column. It takes a second. And you can create your column. So test one. I would say avoid spaces as much as you can. and special characters. Click on OK, and that's a single line of text column. So you can have as many columns as you want. So there are different column types: single line of text, multiple line of text. If you have a big paragraph, uh, 65,000 characters. Choice. I don't recommend using choice much in Power Apps due to delegation. So my main selection will be single line of text, multi-line of text, and probably person and dates and time. So that's it. And I'm going to be actually using different lists that I have. So I'm going to site content and I'm going to be using this list here, general list. This list has ID column or ID text, country, text single line, multiple line, column, person, person multiple, and date and time. All right, so I'll move to my Power Apps, and this is the first screen. So in Power Apps, you can add as many screens as you want. So you can click here, new screen, and these actually are helpful too. So like approval request, list, or email. I've used a couple of them before. If you don't want to do any customization, you can select from here. But for now, I'm just gonna do a blank. So there are many ways to build your Power Apps, but today I'm just going to be building an app where supposedly you submit a form and you want to review your data, you want to edit it, and resubmit again. So let's get started with that. So first thing, I'm going to be inserting a gallery. So vertical gallery. Right here. And I'm just going to change this. So here's your insert actually. And you have everything here that you can insert as text, label, edit form, a gallery where you can display your data. And here's where you enter your text input, the picker, button, this and that. So explore these. They're really nice. You're going to use them all the time. But that's in your insert up here. So after I selected a gallery and I'm going to change it from here, so it's layout, I just need a title and subtitle. I don't need the photo. All right, so next step is to import our data into the Power App so we can work on it. So I will go to Add Data and click on that and Connectors. And you need to look for the SharePoint connector. So if you can type it in here, SharePoint, and it's right there. So click on that. If you haven't created a connection before, so you can click on add new connection, which I'm going to do now. It says connect directly with cloud services. Yes, connect. And this is going to show you the sites you have. And we're going to be working with the dev site. And I need this list, general list. And if you don't know what's the site, or if it didn't show in here because you haven't opened it before, just search it in here. So I'm gonna search as in that row div, or you can just put the URL on top here. So I'm gonna select this and general list and connect. All right, so it got me my general list in here and got some of the columns. So if I'm gonna click on here and I'm gonna click, this gallery has two labels. So I clicked on one of the labels and to get some of the columns, so I'm just gonna type in this item dot title. I don't need the title. I'm gonna change this into, so if you erase the dot and put it back, it will get you the columns that you have. So I need, in this case, I need, let's see, maybe the person, and the person is a record, so dot, and I need the display name. All right, so this is my name, and the second column I will get text single line. All right, cool. So next step is we need to edit this data. So click on the screen. Do not click on the gallery, just click away on the screen and go back to the insert, and I need edit form. So click on that, and the edit form, it's nice that you can connect to the data right away and it will bring you all the fields. So And I will go to the data source and select general list. And what this will do is will get me all the fields in here. They are not looking pretty, but you'll get the chance to kind of play around. If you don't want to do anything, you can just out of the box add them in there, or you can play around and make it pretty, whatever the colors you want, the design you want. But for now, we're just gonna put them together really quick to show you how quick this can be. So get me all the fields, but for this form, we need an item. So we're going to be editing one item at the time for this example, but you can also edit many at the time. So for this example, we're going to be selecting one item and editing this item at the time. We need to know which item. So I'm going to go to the advanced and I will go to the item. For the item of the form, I need a record. So in my gallery, each row is a record. So I'm gonna select the gallery name, gallery 1, copy this, and go back to the form, not to the field, to the form itself, and go into the item and paste that in there, dot selected. So if I click that again, I will go into a specific field, which I don't want that. So if I do it like this, that country, that's not right. So I just need to up to the dot selected. And you can see this right away here. The form got us this record. So it's the first record that's selected. If I hold the Alt on my keyboard and with the mouse click on a different item. So test2, YouTube video, it got me this here too. So this is the text single line field or column. And that's what we're seeing here. And ID2, ID2, or ID text, and 3, and so on. So sweet. All right, now we need to edit this data and update the SharePoint list. So we're gonna click on the insert again and click on button. And I'll drag this down here. And for this button, I'm gonna go to the properties and advanced on select. So this is gonna be on the select of this button. So on the select, I remove the false and I will enter submit form. So there is a formula or a code for this form. It's called submit form. So we need to enter a form in here. So we're gonna go to this form, see what is the name of it, and it's called form 1. I'll copy this, go back to my button and paste it, close that. So submit form. Although once I submit the form, I need to reset it so I can show the new data. So I'm not going to add it in here, reset. And the reason for that is if I'm not submitting the correct information or if it failed for some reason, I don't want it to reset it. I only want it to reset when it's on success. And that's why we're using the form. So form has this feature, which is on success. So if I go back to the form and I'm going to see this. So there's on failure, where you can notify the user that the data submission failed. In this case, we can just try this, remove the false. And we're gonna type the notify. So notify, and it's letting me know here that add a text, and then a comma and option and options. So let's try this. Notify. It's a string, and I'm gonna say data submission failed. Try again. All right, and then a comma, and then what type of notification that I need. So in this case, it's going to be the error, and then another comma, and I need the timeout. So for how long do you want to display this notify for? Let's make it 2 seconds. Right, and close it. So same thing will go on the success. So I'll copy this, and on the success, click on that, and I remove the false, and I'm gonna paste the notify, but I'm gonna do some changes. So on this string here, I'm gonna say success. Your data was submitted. All right. And notification type, remove the error and make it success. and also for 2 seconds. All right, so once on the success, to write another command or a code, so just add a semicolon and new line, or you can just continue here, but I want to make it a new line, and I'm gonna say reset form, and we're gonna add the same. This is the only one, so it's just the me form one. Yes, that's the one I need. And close it. All right, so when you submit data and if it went through, it's just gonna automatically reset it. So we don't have to say it on this bottom here. So this bottom is only submitting the data for us. Cool. So let's give this a try. So I play the app. So this is the preview, the app, or you can click on the F5. So I click on that, and I'm going first to select one of these items. So I'm gonna try the first one, test 222, and this is going to be test 1. And click on that, submit. Nice. So our success, your data was submitted, notification came, and the form is reset. It's test 1 and test 1 here. And nice. All right. So we edited the data, and which was fine. So now we need to enter data. So let's do this. So I'm gonna enter a icon. So I click on insert, and I'm gonna go to the icons and add. So I'll get this add, and maybe keep it here just for now. So on this add, I'm gonna go to the properties, and it's advanced, and on select, remove the false, and I'm gonna say new form and form 1 again. So what this will do is it will make this form as a new, and new means that the item does not have a defined item. So although here it says item, but if I click on new, it will reset this form and make it into a new form. And so it does not have an ID due to this item, right? So if I click on this item, I can see here it has its ID, which is ID 1. But if I click on new, it will make it without an ID. And what that will do is create a new record in the SharePoint list since it did not find an ID for it. So I'm gonna give it a try. So click on this and see it removed everything. And let's make this test new item 4. And I'm gonna go to my submit, and nice. So success, whatever we did before in the form, it just worked, and this is an add-on to it, and this is our new item here. So this is test new item 4, and that's cool. So if I want to edit it, I'm gonna make the country as, let's make it USA. So submit, and there you go. So if I click here, that is cool. And so you want to rename some of these things here. So at the bottom, if I don't want it to say bottom, I want to rename it, go to the properties and the text. Let's say this, let's call it submit form. And for the icon, I can also add the tooltip here. So if I hover the mouse, say add new item, maybe. All right, so I play it, and if I go here, so it says add new item. All right, so this is a really simple app, but you can also add some other connectors here. So if you want to send an email, for example, if you want to look up user, Power BI tile. So there's way too many connectors here. I'd advise you to go and explore. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I can explain for you. So now let's go ahead and publish this app. First, I'm going to save it. And again, everything is in the cloud. You don't have to save your desktop or anything unless if you choose to download it from here. So you can download a copy. So if you want to get back to it, you can go to PowerApps and you'll see it in there. So if you go to apps, and so this is my first app is right there. And I'm going to go back to our app and I need to publish it. So click on here, publish. and publish this version. So once you did this, in order to allow other users to use it, you need to share it. So click on share, and you can share, you're the owner, and you can actually add more owners to the app, or in this case, we just need to add users. So this is to notify the user with an email that you added them, but if you don't, just uncheck this. And I'm gonna add another user. So there's a test, maybe. Cool. So test user, and I don't want him to be a co-owner. I just want to add him in here. And if you want to add, for example, everybody in your company, which is something I prefer, so you can just add everyone in here. So I just type in everyone in your tenant, and that's it. So click on share. And so everybody gets access to this app, and they don't have to ask you or send you an email all the time by access request. So once we did this, now we have to actually set the SharePoint list settings or access to. So I'm gonna go back and to the list, and I'm gonna click on that gear, list settings, and go to permissions for this list. And you can set the access from here. So this list is set for dev owners, which is whatever owners on this site, and myself and another user. So you can stop the inheriting permissions by clicking here, and you can, if you have specific users that should only be using this list, you can add them here, grant permission, and if you want to send them an email or not, and what permission level they should have access for, and you can add them in here. So for example, test user, and I can share. Or if you don't want to do this, just delete unique permission. And if you want just to be everybody that you added to that site, so you can just, like you usually would do, you add users to the site itself. So if I go here, and if I go to site settings, and if I go to site permissions, and I can just add people to the owners, for example. In this case, I removed the other groups, like the members and the visitors. But you can add to the owners, and they have full control, or you can add another create group for a different type of access, and so on. So you can choose here, for example, if you don't want them to delete. So do this or edit, or whatever group that you want to create, and just add your users into the group. So if you go to the group, and you can just add new, add user, and I'm gonna add somebody here. So test and share. That's it. Once you do this, your data shared with these users, your app shared with these users, and you're good to go. So users you give them this link, and this link, if you go to the app, click on these three dots, and go to details, and so you can give this link. And so once they take this link, you can use it in your browser. So just add the link in there, and let's test our app. For the first time, it's gonna pop up this, and just wants your permissions. So click on allow, and that's it. So let's give it a try. So I'm gonna test item number 3. So this is gonna be 33, and the user is going to be test, and I'm submitting the form. All right, so I submitted the form and reset it. And if I want to add a new one, I can just add here 5, and that's 5. Submit the form. Nice, it adds our new record in here. And that's it. So PowerApps transformed a lot of workplaces. It helps building very quick applications. We can create very powerful and tailored Power Apps, business applications for your business, and it's actually really, really quick, take very little time to do. If you have any questions about this video, let me know in the comments, or if you have any suggestions for future videos about Power Platform, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, please let me know in the comments. Stay tuned for more tutorials on my channel, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for future updates. And thank you for watching.